Welcome to the program. It's the Livin Life and Style daily travel update for March 24th, 2025. This show is brought to you, obviously, by Livin Life and Style Travel. They are a full-service travel agency that can help you with all of your travel needs, from everything from personal, leisure, and vacation travel, including groups, and also including any business travel that you may need. You can reach them at 816-744-1405. That's 816-744-1405. You can also find them on the web at www.livinlifeandstyle.com. I've been told we don't need to say the www part. That's like a thing from when I was younger and the internet was a new thing. We said the www. So it's livinlifeandstyle.com. livinlifeandstyle.com. All right, it's the daily travel update for March 24th, 2025. Weather. I've been doing the weather, but it's whatever. The weather's whatever. I don't know if I'm going to keep doing the weather. I don't know if anybody gives a shit. So I'm probably just going to skip the weather. Yeah, I'm going to skip the weather. Although it looks very nice in Lisbon today. What are we doing in Kansas City? Let's just get the Kansas City weather. Kansas City weather forecast for the week. Nice and clear skies. Maybe a little bit of rain up in the north. Oh, I should probably share the map, huh? Should probably share the map. There we go. See, nothing going on in Kansas City. Let's see here. Let's see what these put the maps in motion. Maybe a slight chance of rain, but probably not. We're probably good. Mostly sunny today, partly cloudy skies this morning, overcast in the afternoon. Fine, whatever. Low 44, high is 66. Tomorrow 71, Wednesday 68, Thursday 78. My other weather app tells me that we will actually hit 80. So I always, in the springtime, I always guess that it's probably going to go as much as 5 degrees hotter than the high listed. And when we reach fall time, it's usually about 3 to 5 degrees cooler than the high listed, because that's just kind of how it works when it's trending in that way. But as you can see, on Friday 79, Saturday 75, Sunday it's going to chill off again. Looks like we're going to have some thunderstorms on Saturday that will bring in some cooler temperatures once again, which is great because I'm supposed to play baseball this weekend. Yay! Of course there's going to be rain and colder temperatures on the weekend when I have to go sit at baseball fields all afternoon. Yeah, it's great. That's great. Just peachy. Just peachy. So what do we have for news today? Well, off the top, see, I usually start like this because, the important, less good kind of news that needs to be delivered, I like to get that off the top. And I try to wrap things up with something happier at the end of the show. So that's what, I'll stick with it. I like it. That's what I'm going to do. So let's see here. So today we're talking about, once again, more travel warnings. The U.S. issues a reconsider travel warning for a Caribbean cruise port. Multiple cruise lines do call on this port. So you want to make sure, find out if this involves you. So when people think of some of the most, who's this from? Who is this from? This is from Daniel Klein on thestreet.com. It was published earlier this morning. When people think of some of the more famous islands and ports in the Caribbean, they consider crystal clear beaches, white sand, maybe fruity drinks, definitely fruity drinks, and generally all the wonderful parts of a warm weather tropical paradise. It's hard to picture these beautiful parts of the world and think of them as dangerous. Many destinations in the Caribbean and the Bahamas, however, have their share of political problems. Some suffer from poverty and have residents who need foundational human needs like food, basic medical care, and more. In other cases, the countries are home to criminal groups that cause local problems or political unrest that destabilizes the nation. In most cruise ports that are affected by these problems, the tourist areas are generally safe. Nassau, Bahamas, for example, has been under a low-level U.S. State Department warning for years. That's basically the government just suggesting that you might be a little cautious, the same kind of warning that would apply if you visited New York City, Miami, or Los Angeles. A few cruise ports are under more serious level 3, reconsider travel, and level 4, do not travel warnings. Cruise lines might still call on those ports, but passengers should use abundant caution. That generally means sticking to the walled off cruise port area and taking only cruise line sponsored excursions. Trinidad and Tobago is the southernmost nation in the Caribbean Sea. If you didn't know, beautiful. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Trinidad and Tobago, beware this Caribbean cruise port. Trinidad and Tobago does not seem like a place Americans would avoid. This beautiful country looks as if it had been made to appear on postcards, not like a place in which visitors should be worried about violence. Royal Caribbean sails to Port of Spain, the capital of Trinidad and Tobago, or Tobago. I'm going with Tobago because I'm, once again, from the Midwest. And its website makes it sound like a wonderful place to visit. Nestled along the calm blue-green waters of the Gulf of Paria, Port of Spain is a popular starting point for those looking to explore the best of Trinidad, the cruise line writes. Quote, the city has its fair share of marvels, too. It's home to a centuries-old fortress, gorgeous botanical gardens, and a good number of picturesque churches. And nearby, you'll find plenty of outdoor adventures from the shaded mangroves and winding silver rivers of the Caroni wetlands to the postcard pretty sweep of shore known as Maracas Beach. Royal Caribbean currently shows no cruises being sold that stop in Port of Spain. Cruise Mapper showed that the cruise line's Rhapsody of the Seas had been scheduled to stop in Trinidad in February, but did not show an arrival or departure time. Only a handful of ships are scheduled to stop in Port of Spain over the next few months, and all of them appear to be smaller expedition ships. Reconsider travel to Port of Spain, Trinidad. On March 21st, the U.S. State Department updated its Level 3 reconsider travel warning for Trinidad and Tobago. The headline on the warning makes the situation clear. Quote, reconsider travel to Trinidad and Tobago due to serious risks from crime. There are also heightened risks of terrorism and kidnapping, end quote, the government agency posted. The warning was updated because Trinidad and Tobago recently extended its state of emergency. On December 30th, 2024, the Trinidad and Tobago government had declared a nationwide state of emergency due to ongoing criminal activity that could threaten public safety, end quote, the State Department wrote. On January 13th, 2025, the country's parliament extended the state of emergency until April 2025. The following conditions are in place due to the state of emergency. Trinidad and Tobago Police Service has authority to arrest people on suspicion of involvement in illegal activities, search and enter public and private properties as needed. Bail is suspended for those suspected of committing a crime. Members of the defense force are following similar regulations as the local police. Restrictions and rules can also change at any time. Quote, violence and shootings occur regularly in some areas of Port of Spain. According to the warning, gang activity, which such as narcotics trafficking, is common. A significant portion of violent crime is gang related. Foreigners and a U.S. legal permanent resident have been recent victims of kidnapping. End quote. So look, you have to be paying attention. This is why these travel advisories are out there. And when they're out there, you need to pay attention to them. If you're going to be going to those destinations, you need to be paying attention to what's going on. That doesn't mean you can't go to Port of Spain. Once it starts getting to that level 3, you really want to start thinking hard about it. If it's less than a level 3, I probably wouldn't worry too much about it, but and just be, use regular sort of precautions. But once you start to get into level 3, it makes you want to wonder whether or not you even want to get off the cruise ship if you're coming into that port of call. So anyway, that does it for that travel advisor. I've got another one that is also interesting and kind of travel advisory related. So we'll move on to that one because this is from Cunard. Now, this is going to be interesting to see. Cruise passengers told to turn off bedroom lights and stay alert as they pass through waters known for piracy. Piracy, man. It's the 21st century, and we're talking about piracy. I'm not exactly clear on how this has happened, but I'm definitely wanting to know more. Passengers aboard. This is from Tom Murray in New York, writing for the Independent.co.uk, a British publication. I've also seen this also published. I don't know if it's the same article, but the same reporting on the same information about on MSN.com. Passengers on board Cunard's Queen Anne were told to stay vigilant as they passed through the Suluk Celebes Sea in the Philippines. Interesting. I would have thought it would have been like through the Red Sea. I doubt there's many cruise lines going through the Red Sea right now, but that would have been my first guess. Oh, let me zoom in here real quick. So it's a little easier for everybody to read. Passengers on board the Cunard luxury cruise liner Queen Anne were warned to stay vigilant while the 113,000-ton vessel passed through waters known for piracy. A TikTok video from user Cruise Gypsy UK at Lily de Pink, which has racked up more than 8 million views, showed an announcement to passengers as they traveled from Darwin, Australia to Manila in the Philippines through the Sulu Celebes Strait, or Sulu Celebes Sea. Sorry, my bad. Read the words on the screen there. This area is known for piracy threats. They were told via a loudspeaker in their rooms. As a result, the cruise would be operating at a heightened level of security alertness during this period, end quote, which included the external promenade deck being closed overnight and, quote, deck lights will be on to reduce the ship's external lighting, end quote. Interesting. Passengers were also asked to turn off their stateroom lights and keep their curtains drawn. I assure you that measures to prevent, quote, I assure you that measures to prevent any unlikely incident have been well planned, and the likelihood of this happening on a big ship like Queen Anne is absolutely minimal, end quote, the announcement said. Oh, here's the video. See if I can play it.
This area is known for piracy threats as reported in the world media. Therefore, we will be operating at a heightened level of security alertness during this period. The external promenade deck will be closed on both sides from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. overnight between the night of 14th and 15th of March, and no guests will be allowed access during these times for the duration of the transit. During the hour of darkness, only essential open deck lights will be on to reduce the ship's external lighting. Please take care if you need to transit the upper outside decks. We also request that you turn off your stateroom lights when not needed and close the curtains of your stateroom window or balcony. In the unlikely event of an emergency, a broadcast will be made by the bridge with the following instructions. Guests are to proceed to their staterooms. Guests with a window or balcony should proceed to the corridor outside their stateroom, ensuring the stateroom door remains closed. If you are in an inboard stateroom, please remain inside your stateroom. During this time, guests should not remain on any open decks or near any external windows. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to emphasize that the safety and security of the ship, all guests and crew on board, is my highest priority. I assure you that measures to prevent any unlikely incident have been well planned, and the likelihood of this happening on a big ship like Queen Anne is absolutely minimal. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your attention.
That's wild. Holy cow. Pirates. Pirates. That's a crazy idea. It's such a crazy concept. I don't know. It just seems like not something you should have to deal with in the 21st century, but yet here we are. Quote, as part of standard maritime procedures, our captains may make precautionary announcements when sailing through certain regions, end quote. A representative for Cunard told Business Insider, quote, there was no specific threat to the ship or its guests, and our onboard experience remained uninterrupted, end quote. In a follow-up post, the TikTok user praised the Queen Anne's onboard security, writing, quote, so all the blinds were shut and the lights were down to the minimum last night. The security did an amazing job keeping watch over the ship last night. Well done, guys, end quote. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, it's wild to think that we have to deal with the concept of pirates, but we do live in the world we live in, man. And hats off. Well, my hat's staying on because it's underneath my headphones, but hats off to the people of Cunard and the Queen Anne for doing a good job of taking care of their passengers. That is the most important thing. In another video, she showed off the cruise ship's sonic cannon. Many cruise ships are fitted with a long-range acoustic device which emits high-pitched targeted noise that repels attackers. The Sulu Celebes Sea has previously been a hotspot for kidnapping for ransom incidents, particularly involving groups such as Abu Sayyaf, a violent Islamic separatist group operating in the southern Philippines. Since March 2016, the Information Sharing Center of the Regional Cooperation Agreement on Combating Piracy and Armed Robbery Against Ships in Asia has reported a total of 86 abductions. 86 abductions in 10 years. Not even 10 years, 9 years. That's crazy. The last significant pirate attacks on cruise ships occurred in 2005 and 2009, both of which were successfully able to escape unharmed. The Queen Anne is currently on its maiden world voyage. The 111-night trip began in Hamburg, Germany on January 7th and has made stops in England, New York, Hawaii, Mexico, New Zealand, and Australia. The ship will return to Hamburg on April 29th after stopping in Vietnam, South Africa, Singapore, and Malaysia. Well, there you go. So, once again, just like the with the story from Trinidad and Tobago, it's not that you can't enjoy the trip, but you can't be oblivious to the world you're in, the world you live in, or the places you're going. These are all very important things to keep considered. um, so, I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, you like I said, I think that trip's going to be a fantastic trip. And eh, it's just kind of part of how the world works. I don't know what else to say. I mean, and it's just, you have to be aware of what you're going to be doing. Let's see here. Look at something else here real quick. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's interesting. All right. We got to move on to the next story now. It's time to start moving in a happier direction. So we're going to move on to our next story. Let's see here. Which was the next story? Oh, there it is. Here we go. So apparently, one generation is dominating the cruise market, and it's not the boomers that you think it was. So this is from Digna Joseph on March 9th. Contrary to the years-long narrative of retired boomers enjoying their remaining years aboard cruise ships, current research suggests that the generation dominating the cruise market is actually millennials. Gen X just gets skipped over on everything. We're such a small generation. And we rarely get a chance to make our dent in things. So apparently we get skipped over again, goes straight from boomers, and now the largest generation dominating the cruise market is once again millennials. But we love our millennials, kind of, most of the time. I'm teasing. It's kind of one of those generational joke things. Anyway, a 2025 YouGov poll reports that 41% of millennials say they are likely to take a cruise within the next year, with Gen Zers a close second at 23%. Boomers are ranked last at 16%. Okay, excuse me. Are we just ignoring Gen X? Like, did we not register at all? I mean, I know for a fact that both Celebrity and Virgin Voyages, like one of their key demographics is Gen X. What I mean, we just get ignored. In some respects, it is unsurprising that millennials dominate the cruise market, as data shows they are currently the most extensive and varied generation. More importantly, REQ Marketing states that generation is particularly interested in traveling abroad and discovering and learning about different countries and cultures. There you go. Of course they are. Naturally, that desire has led to a growing interest in cruises, which offer the convenience of a steady hotel-like room and plenty of amenities while traveling from country to country. The YouGov poll also showed that cruise companies and brands utilize television and various digital platforms equally to attract potential customers. Unsurprisingly, social media advertising has proven to be the most effective type of online advertising. According to research, 58% of potential cruisers said social media ads are what caught their attention. putting it on par with TV advertising. Of the various social media platforms, Facebook ranked the highest among individuals polled, with YouTube and Instagram close behind. Social media is particularly effective for cruise market advertising because, according to digital marketing company REQ, 87% of young adults seek travel inspiration through Facebook specifically, which is why I have my Facebook account. Cruise lines are increasingly making changes to court and keep a younger audience. The increase of millennial and Gen Z cruisers has naturally led to excitement, and they are making cruising cool and more appealing to those who may have previously been wary. Naturally, many cruise lines have taken steps to capitalize on and maintain this increasing customer audience. Royal Caribbean Group debuted a new ship, Utopia of the Seas, that boasts a party atmosphere and offers shorter cruises. At 1 to 4 nights, this shorter experience caters to travelers who have less disposable income. Its popular musical acts include Meghan Trainor and a variety of DJs for seemingly nonstop themed dance parties, as well as a wide assortment of restaurants and bars. Another popular cruise line specifically targeting younger audiences is Virgin Voyages. Told you. Virgin's Valiant Lady and Scarlet Lady ship offer poolside cabanas, a wide variety of restaurants, a cafe experience, and an easy-to-use app that appeals to younger sailors. Becoming more environmentally friendly is also a high priority for many cruise lines, as the younger generation of cruisers, according to ESG Today, is more eco-friendly. Significant changes include a switch to using natural gas versus conventional fuel, and more ports implementing shore-to-ship power infrastructure. The latter allows a ship to draw power from the shore when docked at the port. According to YouGov research, the cruise market is still significantly occupied by married couples, like me, likely to have children under 18, like me. Married couples reportedly outnumber single travelers 56% to 44%, with honeymoon cruisers remaining a popular activity. That may explain why the most popular cruise lines considered by the millennial demographic are Royal Caribbean and Carnival, both highly ranked as family-friendly lines. Royal Caribbean specifically offers a line of ships catering to family travel, including Freedom of the Seas and Icon of the Seas, to name a few. I would want to add into that mix that MSC would also be one of those cruise lines for the kids. It is a very good cruise line with very with very comparable aspects to one another. So there we go. One more article for the day. This is the one I'm most interested in today. I probably need to zoom in on this one. Yep. Oops, too much. One less. There we go. A woman who lives on a cruise ship shares the hardest part about her otherwise dream life. I could have anything I wanted, and I want it. I absolutely want it. This report on this woman is brought to you by Todd Perry from Upworthy.com. This is about Christine Kesselou and her one big problem on the cruise ship. Let's see. A lot of folks would love to trade lives with Christine Kesselou. Her husband is the chief engineer on a cruise ship, so she gets to live on the boat pretty much for free as the wife on board. For Christine, life is a lot like living on a permanent vacation. I live on a cruise ship for half the year with my husband, and it's often as glamorous as it sounds, she told Insider. Quote, after all, I don't cook, clean, make my bed, do laundry, or pay for food, end quote. Living an all-inclusive lifestyle seems like paradise, but it has some drawbacks. Having access to all-you-can-eat food all day long can really have an effect on one's waistline. Kesselou admits that living on a cruise ship takes a lot of self-discipline because the temptation is always right under her nose. Oh, that's fair. Quote, one of the hardest things about living on a cruise ship is that I know right now if I just leave my cabin, I can go and have cookies, pizza, a shake. I would have anything I wanted, and I want it. I absolutely want it, end quote, she said in a TikTok video that received over 400,000 views. Let's see.
One of the hardest things about living on a cruise ship is that I know right now, if I just leave my cabin, I can go have cookies, pizza, a malt, a shake. I could have candy. I could have anything I wanted. And I want it. I absolutely want it. I'm laying here. It is 2:00. I had a salad for lunch and I had some fresh fruit along with the salad. But that didn't fill me up. Right now, all I can think about is eating a burger at the dive-in with some french fries and some mayonnaise. And that, folks, is the absolute hardest part about living on a food ship, a cruise ship. I am surrounded by food all the time. Really want a cheeseburger.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. I am laying here. It is 2 p.m. I had a salad for lunch and some fresh fruit, but that didn't fill me up. Right now, all I want is a burger and some french fries. You know, and that's fair. I mean, that's got to be a challenge, right? I mean, the food is fantastic, and there is so much of it. There's just so much of it, right? And and what else are you gonna do? You know, it. I mean, what else are you gonna do? There's all that food. I mean, they have some fabulous, workout places. I'm sure she has all the access to the spa that she could possibly want, right? Um, and the workout equipment and all of those things. But at the end of the day, it's still the temptation. What I mean, yeah, no, I can understand how that would be one of the most difficult parts of living on a cruise ship. And I just read an article last week about living on a cruise ship and like how you can retire on a cruise ship with what was the name of the company? Villavie, VILLVIE residences. I you're gonna have to, I mean, you're gonna have to have some self-control. That's all there is to it. That's all there is to it. All right, guys, that wraps up this daily Living Life and Style daily travel update. It's March 24th, 2025. I will be back tomorrow with more great articles to talk about what's going on in the travel universe. I'm Eric Tiemann. This is brought to you by Livin Life and Style Travel, a full-service travel agency. You can reach them at 816-744-1405. That's 816-744-1405. You can also find them on the web at livinlifeandstyle.com. That's LIVINLIFENSTYLE.com. All right, folks, have a great day. I will see you here tomorrow.